What to do, everybody? Cyber Supreme TV in the building. Talking about this Brook and Terrence Crawford fight for November 14th. No venue as of yet for this fight. There's been rumors spreaded that it may be in Nebraska or it may be in Las Vegas, Nevada. But the good news of this fight actually is that it will be on ESPN for free, not a pay-per-view, so that's a good thing. Like I said, a couple of these pay-per-views coming up, man, I just don't feel like it's worth the money. They're overpricing the pay-per-views, and some fights is not really worth, quite frankly, to be paying for if you're not going to see a top-notch fight. Some people feel like this is a top-notch fight. Some Brook fans, some Terrence Crawford fans feel that way. I feel like there could have been better things that could have went through. Obviously, there was talks that he would be fighting Manny Pacquiao that fell through. Manny Pacquiao has announced, by the way, that he won't plan on fighting at all. And he also may be stripped of his WBA title if he doesn't plan to fight. There were other options for Terrence Crawford. A lot of people believe he should have probably tried to get a Sean Porter fight, but Sean Porter opted to fight the German, and he won. He said he had bigger things to do. That's what he told Sean Porter. I guess the bigger things to do was Brook. Well, we already knew, man, that this was probably going to be ended up the fight. You know, a lot of people felt like Keith Thurman was serious about a fight with Terrence Crawford. Some people felt like Keith Thurman priced himself out of the fight or whatever the case may be. And, you know, I have my opinions on it. There were opportunities way before this for that fight to happen. But basically, for this video, I like to hear the boxing fans' opinion on that as well. Do you think that Crawford ducked Keith Thurman? Or do you think Keith Thurman was just capping and, you know, found a better way to once again duck Terrence Crawford? I'd like to hear that as well. And do you feel like this fight is a justifiable fight for Terrence Crawford? Will he get his credit if he wins? And if he wins, do you believe that he should be fighting Errol Spence next? And if Errol Spence chooses not to fight him next, is that a duck? Or if Terrence Crawford chooses not to fight Errol Spence next, is that a duck? Which gets into the Brook situation. If Brook is victorious in this fight, a lot of people believe that it can lead into a rematch with Errol Spence. Me personally, I don't believe that. I believe that Errol Spence will probably end up opting to take on a mandatory rather than to fight him, or possibly a down the road fight with Manny Pacquiao to unify titles, and then maybe, just maybe, fight Brook just to win the WBO title, whatever the case may be. That's how I think that may go. If Brook is victorious, I highly doubt it. But as for Terrence Crawford, he has his fight coming up November. December comes Errol. I feel like there's no reason for finally a unification. And I've always expressed myself, I don't really believe, as of right now, that we'll probably even see that fight still. Even all that is wide open for that fight. So this is an important fight for Terrence Crawford in that regard. He has to look well. This is a former opponent of Errol Spence. A lot of people try to say this fight can be a measuring stick. I don't really see how that could possibly be, because if we're using fights by measuring sticks, you can always compare other fights as far as Jeff Horn. And then you can look at the opponent Brook had just recently faced. Well, not recently, but, you know, one of his recent fights that Jeff Horn knocked out the guy, and he struggled with the guy. So that's not really a measuring stick when it comes to opponents. But Brook feels like he's strong enough, which he is a strong fighter. He's strong enough and he has enough power to really hurt Terrence Crawford. That's to remain to be seen. He has to be able to be ready. I've heard that his weight will be okay, and then I've heard that his weight is still, he may be slightly overweight by the time the fight comes around. He will not have Dominic Ingle in this fight. He will not travel, and he feels like he needs about 10 to 12 weeks to train his fighter, so he doesn't feel confident in taking that fight, so he refused to train. So he's been freelancing and just basically freestyling a lot in his training camp. As far as Terrence Crawford training camp, they say he looks sharp as usual, strong as usual. And, you know, like I said, man, if this was a pay-per-view, this is one fight I probably wouldn't support, but I will probably watch it now because it's free on ESPN. Tell me you guys' thoughts and opinions on this particular fight, on whether y'all feel like this is a marquee fight for Terrence Crawford. A lot of people felt like Kell Brook was asking for too much. I don't agree with that. Bernie Davis said he wasn't even worth the 1.5, but he ended up getting $2 million. Yes, Kell Brook will be getting $2 million, but Crawford will be getting like 4.5 for this particular fight. I don't know if it'll have. I don't think it's going to be without fans once again, but I also heard rumors that there will be now certain things that they will be doing in the near future as far as arenas and events that they will be having actual people in the arenas. I don't know if it's for this particular fight, but it will be soon. So it's going to actually happen. Still no venue. No real news on Kell Brook's weight, on whether he'll be able to get down to 147. But we don't know if it'll be in Vegas or Nebraska, but those are two of the venues that people have been discussing, or Bob Arum said that would probably be a possibility for. So we'll see what happens with that. I will do a breakdown and prediction. Right now I don't feel like it's a need for it until, the fight is getting ready to happen. But those are just my thoughts on this, and I'd like to know your thoughts on what will be better for Terrence Crawford at this point. Is this the perfect fight for him while waiting for his unification fight with Errol Spence, or do you think he could have fought a better person, Keith Thurman or Pacquiao? Peace.